Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm going to discuss cystic fibrosis, or CF. First off, cystic fibrosis is a genetic disorder that affects the lungs and pancreas. A defective gene causes the mucus that lines the airways and pancreas to be extremely thick. As a result, the lungs are unable to circulate air properly, and the pancreas is unable to absorb vital nutrients. According to IDEA 2004, cystic fibrosis is a genetic birth defect that results in chronic lung infections and digestive difficulties. In New Jersey, CF falls under the other health impairments but is not explicitly defined. Within this category, CF is under chronically ill, which means a disability characterized by having limited strength, vitality, or alertness, including a heightened awareness to the educational environment due to chronic or acute health problems such as ADHD, heart conditions, tuberculosis, CF, etc., etc. CF falls under this category because it severely limits a child's ability to complete simple daily tasks. Now, we're going to look at the developmental characteristics of CF, starting with the physical symptoms. Children with CF may have salty tasting skin, clubbing, which means widening of the fingers and toes because the lungs cannot get enough oxygen into the bloodstream, purple fingernails, and irregular bowel movements. Children with CF may also be thinner than other kids their age due to poor nutrient absorption. Even though CF only affects people physically, it can affect people cognitively, emotionally, and socially in secondary ways. The stress from having to undergo so much treatment can take a toll on children, mainly in an emotional way. The chronic illness can cause children to have an underlying fear of dying before living a full life. Also, the fear of possibly undergoing a lung transplant takes a toll on the children. Having CF can also cause social issues for children with the illness. Due to their coughing, children with CF can be isolated from their peers because it sounds unpleasant. One example of this is from the memoir I read, 65 Roses, which is about having a sister with CF. Pam, who had CF, was often isolated during family gatherings as a child because people were afraid of catching her illness, which is not even possible. Also, children with CF need to keep a safe distance, at least 6 feet, from their peers to prevent getting a cold or flu, which can quickly turn into a raging lung infection. Furthermore, CF can have a negative effect on children's cognitive development if the child does not get enough nutrients in the early years, which is usually due to a delayed diagnosis. However, children with CF overall experience normal cognitive development with the proper intervention. Due to their disease, people with cystic fibrosis have a significantly lower level of physical functioning. The mucus buildup in the lungs lowers endurance in people with cystic fibrosis. For example, Pam in 65 Roses had to stop playing frequently just to catch her breath. As she got older, Pam was not able to work at a daycare center because her barely functioning lungs made it difficult to complete the simplest tasks. However, recent studies are finding that developmentally appropriate exercise routines can help improve a person with cystic fibrosis' physical functioning. Overall, children with cystic fibrosis experience normal cognitive and emotional functioning. According to a study done by the Medical University of South Carolina, adults with CF have a healthy psychosocial functioning. With that being said, better lung function and strong support systems strongly correlate with healthy psychosocial and healthy psychological functioning. Even with amazing medical advances, there are many ways to treat CF. One way is physiotherapy, which is when the person lays down in different positions and someone pats them on the back and the lungs to loosen the mucus in the different lobes of the lungs. Also, the vibrating vest does a similar thing to the physiotherapy, except a person straps it on and hooks it up to a machine that makes the vest vibrate, as pictured here. Another treatment is a nebulizer, which is a mask hooked up to a machine that puts medicine into the lungs to make breathing easier. Additionally, people with CF need to take a host of enzyme pills that help with digestion and nutrient absorption. Unfortunately, even with all of these treatments, there is no cure for cystic fibrosis. Now, I'll show you a quick video demonstrating a small portion of physiotherapy.
All right, here's how they do some P&D in the hospital. Percussion and drainage. Enjoy. There's Mandy. All right, here it is.
Pulling things out of the wall. Sir, you have some messages.
Albuterol adjuvant.
First messages. I love you. That's for me.
Not in 1,000 years, Catherine. We work together. And get off my desk.
Yes, I have acted before. I was in a production of Oklahoma in the 7th grade. I played the part of Muty, the mailman. They included kids who made up roles like that. That's good. And it's my old partner, Samuel L. Chang.
Into Nicholas car.
What's that?
You lost some weight.
For a while, he
I can do what in the video?
also knew that
Hi.
he would change his life. He thought that I would change mine.
You didn't.
I used to do
All right.
No, you were not.
Okay.
Yes.
Stupid. Really brave.
So this will go 5 minutes position, back, chest, sides, and I get my lower lobes done, plus you lay down and do the lower back. So it's about 30 minutes in all. And I get this twice a day while I'm in the hospital, and 2 times I do the vest for 30 minutes at a pop. Check in with you later.
Now, we're going to look at the strengths and weaknesses of individuals with CF. Despite their poor physical condition and the struggles they have to endure, people with CF are very appreciative of their lives. I say this is a strength because it takes a great optimism to have such a positive outlook on life with a chronic illness. Another strength of people with CF is their emotional resiliency. Even after numerous hospitalizations, people with CF still live happy lives. For example, in 65 Roses, Pam decides to live her life to the fullest by devoting herself to her religion and her family, after coming to terms with CF being terminal. Even with their amazing emotional strength, people with CF face many challenges due to their physical condition. For starters, the treatments are extremely time-consuming. For children, this is difficult because they have to do their treatments every few hours, and it can be a very exhausting routine. For adults, treatments can make it difficult to find a stable job. Another challenge for people with CF is their weak lung function, which makes it difficult to complete simple tasks that help people be independent. For example, Pam in 65 Roses could barely do the dishes because she got tired so easily. Additionally, people with CF get sick very easily, so it is difficult for them to be around people. And in fact, it is recommended that people with CF keep a distance of at least 6 feet from a person because a cold or flu can easily turn into a lung infection. Again, this aspect of CF makes it difficult to be independent. Furthermore, CF treatment poses a financial burden which makes independence extremely difficult. In one video I watched, Caitlin, a 25-year-old living with CF, has a budget for expensive treatments, while her friends are worrying about car payments and student loans. On average, families spend $40,000 on direct medical expenses and $9,000 on secondary expenses to treat CF. To compound this issue, people with CF don't get federal funding because there are so few people relative to the population who have this illness. Now we're moving on to what teachers can do to accommodate children with CF in the classrooms. Teachers need to be cognizant of physical limitations. First off, teachers need to include children with CF in all classroom activities within their capacity. Make sure you work with the child to determine his or her limits. Also, teachers should break assignments into more manageable parts while maintaining high expectations. Students with CF function cognitively the same as their peers, but treatment is exhausting and makes it difficult to do large assignments. Additionally, keep in mind that children with CF just want to have normal lives. With that being said, do not draw attention to the child's condition. Teachers should seat them close to the door in case they need to either leave the room to get water or use the restroom. Also, encourage the child to keep tissues and a trash can at their seat to prevent them from having to get up frequently. Furthermore, teachers should build a relationship based on trust with the student with CF. These children constantly have a tremendous burden to carry, so be compassionate and ready to listen if the child is struggling to cope with her condition. Be a part of a strong support system. As teachers, it is important that we are well informed and prepared to teach a child with cystic fibrosis. One really helpful resource is the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation website. It has a whole page dedicated to educating teachers about CF. Another resource I found to be helpful is the video Cystic Fibrosis at School. It is only a 7-minute long YouTube video, but it helps the teacher know what to expect from a student's perspective. Also, check to see if the local hospital near you has a transition plan to adult life for children with CF. These plans make baby steps to being able to self-manage throughout adolescence. As a teacher, this is important to know because you can plan to correlate the skills that you teach in the classroom to self-management skills that the child learns in the hospital. Before beginning my research, I knew virtually nothing about cystic fibrosis. One thing I learned is that people with CF still struggle to be independent, which can cause many emotional issues. I also learned that we need to be understanding of their circumstances. A child with CF undergoes treatment daily, endures hospital visits, and a constant fear of getting sick. So if a student with CF is nodding off in the classroom, remember the exhausting treatments they have to go through every day. Furthermore, I learned that a little bit of compassion goes a long way. I came across many first-hand accounts where being surrounded by compassionate people makes it easier to cope with CF. Just having an open ear and an open heart can make all the difference. Finally, and most importantly, children with CF just want to be normal. Children with CF are just like other kids. They want to have friends and are interested in the same things. The only difference is they have CF. As teachers, it is our job to make sure a child with CF receives a beneficial education where they are able to flourish. Thank you for watching.